Namaste, angels. I'm going to do a client reading. This is for one of my regular clients for both readings and Divine Light Cleanse. And, you know, like many of the other success stories I've told, I'm very happy to tell, because every victory for one of these individuals is a victory for the collective. They had been, you know, in separation. They had been in a really difficult place. And in a matter of days, literally, they went from that to just feeling really strong as individuals, and the feminine exchanging or offering key to her home to the masculine, and they've been, you know, really, really good ever since. So I'm not going to go back and look at anything old. I don't even remember their zodiac signs, because the first time I read for them, I was able to pick up on those. I don't recall what they were. I think one may have been a Sagittarius. The other possibly either air or earth, because I was trying to remember. I'm like, what? I mean, and I don't have to try to remember. I can go back and look, but I didn't want to do that. I tried to remember for a second. I'm like, air? And I'm like, no, maybe it was earth, maybe Virgo, but I'm not sure. And you know what? We're not going to waste time trying to figure that out. I'm going to go right into their reading. And I'm going to begin with Soulmate and my Tony Carmine Solano Universal Love Oracle, and open to Inner Child. So I said maybe an air sign. This card for me is about air signs, and most particularly Aquarius, but air signs in general. And then most particularly Aquarius because of the stars here, but air sign because of the star on the crown. So the intelligence, the third eye, so like the high priestess, who's an air sign herself, and on the throat, over the throat chakra, and air signs all about communication. Aside from being about air signs, that card for me is about one's inner child still having something to say, something to get off its chest. Up at the Soulmate and expectancy. Expectancy is about, like, basically, it's not necessarily about what it looks like it might be or sounds like it may be. It's not about being pregnant or anything, although sometimes messages do come through this card in that regard for me. What the card really means is that we need to let go of the expectations and limitations thereby that we put upon the universe, because our thinking is too small. It's not broad enough. And so we restrict the universe in what it can do for us. We block our blessings basically with our very small-minded expectancies, as opposed to just having faith and, appreciating and respecting how broad and vast the universe is and how it can do absolutely anything, that we don't need to give it instructions. So gotta let go of that. Soulmate and relationship. So, of course, in love reading or love spread, this is a good sign because it says positive things about, the relationship or the couple for whom I'm reading. Additionally, it can be about the need to improve one's relationship with themselves, because that helps to improve relationships with others. Soulmate, I got one more. And it's birth. So somewhat on the heels of expectancy to see birth, yeah, that's one of the times it can come through as having to do more so with what we think expectancy means here on this 3D plane. But I'm still not getting that, at least not yet. This birth is about, new things to come in the relationship, new positive things to come for this soulmate union. Soulmate, I'm gonna cut. Whoop. What is that tried to get away? It's actually two cards. Embrace and spiritual growth. So spiritual growth is pretty straightforward. It's about what it sounds like. Look what's back on the top, that inner child. Spiritual growth is about what it sounds like. Just sticking it in arbitrarily. Embrace isn't not as much. It looks like a couple in a very tight and loving hug. And and it can mean that, because again, in the love spread, it can be meaning that for us. But what the card means, sort of textbook, is it's about one person's inner masculine and feminine coming into balance and embracing itself. So on the heels of a relationship card that can be about improving one's relationship with themselves, there can be a need for one or both of the parties in this union to come into balance more as an individual. And maybe that's why inner child is showing up again as well. Oh, did you see that? I opened to stick the embrace card in the deck arbitrarily, and I opened it up to balance. So, yep, that's exactly what it's about. That was the angel saying, yeah, you're on the right track, but, don't say maybe. It is what it's about. And this is more earth sign to me. I don't know if you guys can see like this white ball over the throat chakra, and also one on his forehead, like the third eye. And I can see a light coming down here too, like over the crown chakra. So again, it's about intelligence, like that foresight, that sixth sense, third sight, and the throat chakra. This card also about air signs for me. All this like white smoke reminds me of air. And when the woman comes in her blue, and I see like waves here, and it's like water sign too. Somebody may have some water in their chart. We can be dealing with some air and water, perhaps. Balance. And I don't know if you guys noticed, because I didn't say anything about it, but this is the other card to which I had opened. When I put that first card, I said this card is about what it looks like. Spiritual growth. I opened to Guardian. I put spiritual growth on top of Guardian. It is now our overall energy. So this card will represent the feminine, like about herself, and it can be her higher self sending a message. The masculine about the feminine, and of course all the cards will be, as they relate to the union. The masculine about himself and about the union. So this spread is specifically from the perspective of the masculine, with the exception of the card that'll go here and the card that'll go here. This one is from the feminine. This one's going to be from the universe. Overall, the outcome, what the masculine would have the feminine to do to help the cause, what he himself is willing to do, and further advice from the universe. So what the universe would have the two of them to do. Wow. Embrace. So the feminine in this case is the one who may be a little bit imbalanced right now, and needs to work on her relationship with herself and her inner masculine and feminine. Like we want to give some energy and attention to both of those, nurture both halves so they can be healthy and come together. The masculine with relation to the feminine. Wow. The spiritual growth card is back. So basically, she is sort of who and what propels him to, a higher level. And you can see this red and blue and white heart here is in both pictures. So that's the two of them, their higher selves communicating during the reading as well. The masculine about himself, fear. Aww. And I felt this as I was shuffling. I wasn't sure in what regard, but I felt fear to move forward and talk about the same colors in the cards. Their overall energy is the same color as this fear, to remind us that, we're not walking alone. There is no reason to be afraid. As a matter of fact, I've been having a couple of my clients lately who've, I either they've flat out said that they had fear, or I sensed fear in their voice or their conversation. I've been reminding them of the 27th Psalm, of what shall I be afraid, basically, when the Lord is behind me, God is behind me, the universe is behind me, the angels are behind me. Of what shall I be afraid? Whom shall I fear? Nobody. Why? There's no need. We're completely and utterly protected by the divine. The union as a whole. Message from afar. It's like a gift from the heavens, basically. Gift from God, sent from above. That's his feeling. Overall, celebration. It's cause to celebrate too. It makes him very, very happy and at peace, right? This is about peace. This is a very Pentecostal looking dove for me. Representative of the Prince of Peace. And that's cause to celebrate too. What would the masculine have the feminine to do? He sees her like restricting herself. Maybe because of this, because she hasn't come together. Restricting herself, holding herself back from like approaching the portal. Like, just because I'm afraid doesn't mean that, you have your own path and journey. We have one together, absolutely. And it's clear that he feels that way, but you have your own journey and path to walk. Like, you can't be afraid to continue to move forward because, you feel that I'm stagnant, or because I am actually, maybe I'm truly stagnant. In either case, you can't hold yourself up because of what I'm doing. You've got to go through the gateway. And get yourself, first get yourself well enough to go through the gateway and then go through. So that's what he wants for her. And what is he willing to do? He's willing to continue to heal and work on his healing, allow the universe, to help him with that, the guardians to help him with that, so that he can be, as strong as he sees her. Remember, he has said here that she is, what and who like propels his spiritual growth. That's his strength, basically. He wants to be as strong as her. He wants her to realize how strong she is. Again, it's that she can start walking towards the gateway. And he's going to catch up. Because he's open to working on the healing too. What would the universe have the two of them to do? Right, believe in miracles. That's what's going to be cause to celebration. We don't have to figure out in advance of what happens, what's going to happen. Going back to that expectancy card and limiting ourselves and limiting the universe, restricting it from, blocking our own blessings. When we cease to do that is when miracles occur and we get to see how very, vast and grand the universe is, and, who's really boss and in charge. It's a pleasant reminder. The outcome is answered prayer. So that is what you can expect. If you have to expect anything, expect that. Like, don't put the universe into a box. I want a red balloon this size. You're being overly specific. Just put your prayers out there. Send me, dear God, make me a bird, and don't specify, so I can fly far, far away, and don't specify what kind of bird. Like, let the universe make you the most grand bird, like something you couldn't even imagine. It's a miracle bird. That's that sort of thing. That's going to be your outcome when you have faith. And it's certainly going to be cause for celebration. Awesome. I'm going to move quickly because I want to be able to do as much as possible. I'm hearing a song right now in the background. I don't know if you can hear it. At my house, it's Daddy's home, but not Usher. It's this old one, and it's one that comes on and comes to me quite often telepathically from my divine masculine, but maybe yours is a fan too. I'm going to go to hashtag creepy deck, beginning with communication, see what the universe has to say. And I'm opening to Ice Queen, which may represent Venus, since it's communication. Venus, ruler of Gemini, the great communicator. These two cards together. Of course, Venus also ruler of Libra, another air sign, so also a communication sign. And opening to mature woman. Communication and mature man. Makes sense, dealing with two people around the same age. Communication and the passion between them, which is a means of communication all in itself. I love saying things without words. I get it. Friendship also important, and starting out as friends and becoming something, increasing that bond, and maybe, attaching a ring of to signify what the bond is. Passion and money, giving it value, the relationship value, respecting it. That is our destiny. Passion. I'm going to cut. And courting men. Wow, talking about putting a ring on it here. The overall energy is a union. This card will represent the divine couple, the recent past, the near future. The masculine's higher self, blocks to the union, what the feminine can do, what the masculine can do, further advice from the universe, and the outcome over here this time. Divine couple, freedom. So there's something, someone on both sides, or someplace even, or maybe a combination of those on both sides, from which they need to detach in order to be able to truly be free as individuals and as a couple. The recent past. Wow, boom, twin flame. Yeah, this would be their recent past. Time is relative, so I don't know what recent is necessarily. But again, I told you at the start of this reading, they were having difficulty. She was calling him her friend, not even divine masculine, like she hadn't really come to accept that yet. And sure enough, with some healing and things, there's been spiritual growth and, the realization of a, divine union, a sacred union, or twin flame, if one chooses to call it that. The near future, new love. So we saw that birth card before. I said there'll be new beginnings for them together. Death and rebirth is a beautiful thing. Always continuing to evolve and go through a personal and coupled metamorphosis is awesome. Every now and then getting a chance to go in a caterpillar and come out a butterfly, so they're getting that. Beautiful. The masculine's higher self, long distance. He's got some things on his mind, like he's not 100% present these days, is what the way that this is coming through to me. Okay. Also, this is about him looking ahead too. So it has dual meaning. It's about him looking ahead to the future and feeling sort of that some things are kind of out of his grasp at the moment. Some things that he'd like to have happen out of his grasp. That's not to say he's giving up on them. Like I said, he's looking forward, like on the horizon. Blocks to the union. Not as much communication as there could be or maybe should be. So we can work on that. That's an easy one, actually. What can the feminine do? She's got a past life issue of which to let go. And she's probably going to say, like, what now? I've done so much, you know, healing and releasing and cleansing and all that kind of stuff. But there's still something there, a past life issue. Something that's holding her back. And again, like I said, there's something of which both of them need to break away, or from which both of them need to break away. And I feel separately, not as a couple, like she has something to pull away from and he has something to pull away from, a cord to cut. And that's what this is representing for her. For him, work, maybe on communication, on these goals that he has, things that he wants to, and the universe, I mean, the universe, their own personal universe, the union in general, putting more conscious effort in, being more present than he is right now and knows he is right now. And so that he can, you know, pay more attention to these details. What would the universe recommend to the two of them? Universe wants them to know there may be some short-term heartache, like there may be some distance might be necessary to deal with something, and perhaps to pull away from whatever this is in both cases, because the feminine is already getting guidance from the universe to work on this issue, and the masculine's getting guidance to work in general on all of his business. So there may be a short-term break, short-term pause, a short-term distance between them. But know that this, you know, always exists, always remains. It doesn't go away because, you know, we don't get to talk for a couple of days. Outcome. Wow. The friendship that I spoke of in the beginning, that I said develops into something more, maybe involving a ring. Again, with this being the overall energy, union. There's your ring. That's the outcome. Wow. With the twin flames sitting here in the middle. You can't really beat that spread. Even, you know, despite this, you can't beat that spread. All right, I want to get in. I'm not trying to rush your reading, but I do want to get in as much as I can for you. So I'm going to the traditional tarot now, my angel tarot, beginning with the Knight of Earth. Knight of Earth is a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. He is loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. He is an awesome knight. He always reaches his goal. You can count on the Knight of Earth. He can be slow, though. It's a slow and steady wins the race type of mentality with him. It's time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. And opening to the Knight of Fire. So I said somebody might be an earth sign, and I think somebody was a Sagittarius. That could be what this Knight of Fire is about. The Knight of Fire is passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. And yes, a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. This knight is awesome too. This one is like the Prince Charming of the deck, if you ask me. Like the knight in shining armor. That's him. Knight of Fire, but feeling bound, stuck, unable to move forward. Fearing, right? This is fear too. This is restriction. This is limitation, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and being afraid to take action. This could be, again, on both sides, being afraid to break away from whatever that person, place, or thing is, or combination of those of which they need to let go, that cord they need to cut. Knight of Fire back. But this, and I saw this as I was shuffling too, and I said, oh, how sweet for them. The Two of Water, a relationship that continues to grow closer despite all the other bullshit. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. So if there is something that's amiss, that will be worked out, says the cards. Knight of Fire back. I'll go one more, and it's the Six of Fire. Here's your victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards. Knight of Fire. I'm going to cut. And it's the Empress, so more earth or air. The Empress represents Venus for me again. So here she comes again. We just saw her in the other deck, hashtag creepy deck, as the Ice Queen. That's Venus for me. And this is also Venus. The Empress is Venus, if you ask me. Venus represents the signs of Taurus and Libra. Directly, again, it is the esoteric ruler of Gemini. So that's why I said Gemini earlier too. And that's what this card is all about for me. Lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. So it's like the mother, that's the Libra, the Gemini, right? The Queen of Swords herself. And then you got that goddess of, you know, the earthly too, money and abundance coming through with the Taurus energy. Also, this is a 3, so even though it's major arcana and it's a beautiful card, it's the Empress, it can represent what I like to call a party of 3, and those, you know, not necessarily a love triangle, but of course that's a possibility too. It can be even, and I think most often it tends to be exes, so even people that you say, well, I'm done, I'm divorced, we're separated, there's still cords of attachment that we have to cut, as I was saying before. And the overall energy is the 2 of air. So somebody's got a decision to make as well. Could be one or the other or both even. Being unable or unwilling to make said decision is the problem though, and why this card tends to show up. It's when you reach a stalemate and you're pretending there's no problem. Masculine is the king of earth now. Generous, professional, responsible, and practical is the king of earth. A successful time, confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. This can be, you know, a good time to apply for credit. You could be offered a job. I know that already happened. With one of the cleanses, he was offered a job, a new job. But that could happen again. Promotion, loans, or, you know, just about anything. It's a good time to go for it. If he's been wanting to start a business or something, good time to do that. It's the end of a difficult situation as well. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Somebody, him in particular, or somebody close to him, may even be recovering from an addiction. An addiction doesn't have to be substance abuse, but it absolutely can be. But it can be any person, place, or thing upon which we are codependent. In his subconscious, he's feeling that he made a mistake. And it may be attached to this 10 of air too. So it can be attached to, again, whatever the addiction or codependency is, or the difficult situation that's coming to an end, or you know, combination of those if it's more than one thing. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. Well, the 5 of air is about conflict. It's about a clearing away of energy. 5 comes through and sort of dismantles, similar to 10, dismantles what's there, and we've got to work with what remains after that. But in this position that represents like the subconscious for me, and like the thought is thinking like I've screwed up. And, you know, air cards or swords cards can be about the mental to begin with. Like, you know, a lot of times they're not real. They're in our heads. So this is like double in his head, that he's thinking he may have like made a mess of things, ruined things. So it's going to be important for him to expect things to get better without sort of putting restrictions upon how, or, you know, to what extent and all that sort of thing. Feminine, 7 of fire. In the meantime, you defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground. So don't let anybody like trample upon you or your choices. Choose your battles wisely though. And the 4 of water, missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. So this is when we're like sort of, oh, woe is me. Things aren't as I wanted them, as I expected, right? As I planned. And so we fail to see like how awesome they actually are because we're too busy focusing on like what didn't happen that we would have otherwise hoped. So you're going to have to like try to consciously kind of put effort into like counting your blessings, being aware of your surroundings, being thankful, you know, for everything you have and all that kind of stuff. Opportunities too. The relationship, the love. Some people don't have, you know, this situation, period. They don't have love, which is horrible, which is very, very sad. So trying to be respectful of the fact that you do and appreciative of the fact that you do. And here in your subconscious is a 5 as well to match your masculines. They're mirroring one another. Yours is the 5 of earth. Fear surrounding money or the wisdom to accept help from others and uncertain self-employment, where the 5 of earth relates to love. For me, it's not obviously not a fear of surrounding money. Well, it can be. It can be that too. How we're going to, you know, have our relationship when we don't have enough money. It can be that. But it's more so as it relates to love. For me, fear of abandonment and fear of lack. Like fear, like my last relationship lacked this, lacked that. I didn't feel loved enough. I didn't feel this enough. I'm worried in this position here, the subconscious, worried that's going to happen again. Like being paranoid about lack is what this is. So again, not appreciating what you do have, not counting your blessings, because you're focused on what you don't have or what you potentially might not have at some point, which is even, it's kind of worse. And crowning the 3 of air, great sadness. I also saw this as I was shuffling. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. This can be coming forward in connection to this 10 of air. Maybe there was some backstabbing or and hurt and stuff involved, for which we need to seek forgiveness and extend some forgiveness. This can be to oneself and or the other party. I don't feel bad about this though. I'm like, I feel like this is hurt that's occurred, and maybe that's why the 2 of you like this is sort of reactionary. But I don't think it's like pain to come. Let's see what else we got here. At the roots, the page of air. Page of air is logical, honest, impulsive, and curious. Challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. So maybe that's what this is. It's just something that comes out that may cause some pain or whatever. But I see more positive, or feel more positive here than not. Page of earth can also be about a delay. So maybe you were looking forward to things being further along, you know, by this time than they are. And that's what's saddening. That can be. The page of air comes through to let us know that, you know, like I'm the cause of the delay. It's, you know, it's Mercury, it's whatever. And it can be Mercury. Actually today, I think today, Mercury and Mars are fighting, if I remember correctly. I believe so. And there's a Leo moon, which can be good for some of us. I think for me it's good, but possibly not good for everybody. That could cause some you know, difficulties. At the heart of the matter, the 7 of waters. We got to make a choice, and maybe that's what's causing some pain too. The difficulty of making a choice when we're expecting things to go poorly. When, you know, with this, we're used to things not going our way. We're used to lack, you know, we're expecting that we're manifesting that into our lives now by not, you know, looking at the good things. So now this decision is even more difficult than it otherwise would have been. You got 2 5s and 2 7s too. And that's, the next card is upright. I think I want to use it to try to clarify the 3 of air first for you. Unity with Archangel Sandalphon. Traditional viewpoints or methods. Spiritual organizations seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So I feel something can be coming out about your environment, so to speak. people, places, and things with whom you surround yourself, and or the masculine surrounds himself, that a change is necessary. You got another 5 here. So there's a clearing of this negative energy is very much due. And you got like a little triangle here with them too, of 5s. Next card is also upright. Let's do the 7 of water. And it's another 7 of water. It's the Chariot with Archangel Metatron. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. So this is saying you can get beyond whatever these choices are. There's a bunch of cups here, and maybe there's some things that are not very good for you in these cups. And, you know, you could pick them up and continue to go down a difficult path. That could be your choice, but you don't have to, because again, this difficult path is ready to end, and you're ready to be presented with some abundance, both here, and we had again the Empress here before. She showers us with abundance too. We can move away from all these things. We can move away from these you know, people, places, and things that are not good for us, and be victorious in our lives. As the 6 of Wands that came through is about victory, but it's a choice. However, all that said, the major arcana energy is so much stronger than the minor arcana energy. The likelihood that this choice is the one that's going to be made is, you know, is great. This 7 of water far trumps this 7 of water. This 5 of earth far trumps this 5 of earth. Let's see what the 10 of air says. 8 of earth. Skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic, and maybe even going back to school. So if we put effort into helping this difficulty to end, is in part why it's ending. We're being rewarded with a change, a positive change in our lives, because we tried. So if let's say he does have an addiction to something, putting effort into ceasing to, I don't want to say nurture addiction. Well, yeah, maybe. Putting effort into, you know, ceasing to give that any energy will be rewarded with positivity, with victory. They're giving us a lot of upright ones today too. Let's do the masculine's 5 of air with this. Page of water, intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly is the page of water. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase, and maybe even heightened psychic abilities come through. So with whatever's going on here with the masculine, it's very possible that a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio is involved. The Chariot also represents the sign of Cancer or other water sign. And so that would be crossing this page of water. It can be something involving a child. Yeah. I'm feeling it can be something involving a child, that he feels like he's done something wrong in that regard. And it's possibly affecting a relationship. Affecting a commitment, this situation with this child. They're giving us more bright cards. I'm going to keep going. The 4 of water. You've got a decision to make too. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. So like stop being so uptight, and again and like missing what's around you. More focus is necessary. More appreciation to the blessings that surround you. More attention to detail. Exactly what are you dealing? And taking a moment to like address your situation. Also balance. This comes back again as another indication that you need some balance in your life. Now the next card is upside down, but I'm going to look again. Let's see what else we got upright. This Five of Earth. Queen of Fire. Confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful is the Queen of Fire. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. So this is saying that you don't need to at all be this like sort of woeful, sad person, right? You are the Queen of Fire, who is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or for the sake of divine unions, the quintessential divine feminine of the tarot, or just somebody taking on these attributes, you know, very confident, powerful, I am woman, hear me roar type of energy. Certainly like not worried about lack and, oh, woe is me, and, you know, how do I move forward? And maybe this is why the masculine picked that portal card for you. Like, go ahead and go through. Like, you don't have to be held back like I am. You can do this. You don't have the kind of restrictions on you that I have. You know, let me meet you there. Take the head start. And you can definitely do it as the Queen of Fire. Let's do one more here. The Star. So ultimately that balance does occur. We see this angelic being here with these two water vessels being poured like equally and evenly at the same time, simultaneously. And what they're all about is happy times. They tell you to make positive, optimistic, long-term plans because they remind you that you, again, are on the right path. The star represents the sign of Aquarius or other air sign, Gemini, or Libra. And it's all about like really awesome things to come. So I told you I was feeling, although that spread looked a little bit funky, I was feeling good about it. I was feeling positive things about it. And now look with what we're left. The King of Earth, the Eight of Earth, the Page of Water, the Page of Air, the Chariot, which is like the ultimate card of victory in the tarot. Unity, or the Hierophant, the High Priest, a card that everybody wants to see in their love reading, especially when the Two of Water has shown up too. And the Star, the Queen of Fire, the divine feminine of the tarot, and the Seven of Fire, which is like that warrior spirit, keep going, don't let anything stop you. And we got one more upright card. Let's just do this. They're not going to let me just do that because this is the card that represents the sign of Pisces. This is the Hangman, Awakening. It's another 3 too. Look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So this doesn't tell us all we need to do. Let's do another one. Bam! Let's see what happens. They're not going to give in to me. Balance or temperance, which represents the sign of Sagittarius, but for me always was about Aquarius, because it's another water bearer, if you can see here. So all of these cards basically saying, to sum this up, that with the work that you were both guided to give in the last spread, the masculine actually having a card that says work, you having a card that indicated that you needed to put some effort forth. With the two of you doing that, both in yourselves as individuals and the business you need to handle in your personal and private lives separate from one another, and putting work into the union, you can have all of this really awesome energy and actual occurrences in your life. You can have King of Earth. You will have King of Earth. The masculine will. Okay, that came right out. He will be rewarded for work that he puts in. This is an offer of love. He's going to make an offer of love or receive an offer of love, or both, if he stops thinking negatively, right? He's doing this. He's potentially manifesting negativity. It doesn't have to be, right? Page of Water is what came through to trump that. This just guides you to keep going. It says you're on the right path. Like, so don't back down. Keep going. You're going to fight some battles maybe. You don't have to. It's up to you. That's what this means. This guides you to make time for both work and play, and to find some balance in your life, and to find, again, appreciation and peace and zen. And that's what this is about. This reminds you that you're not this meek, woeful, sorry person. You are, a powerful, confident, feminine being. Be that. This, at the end of the day, is about commitment and tradition and partnerships and legality, in a positive light. It's the high priest. It's the Hierophant. But yeah, it reminds us to be careful. Like, we're going to choose some battles. We're going to have some battles to fight, because not everybody is our friend. So we do have to, make changes to with what and whom we surround ourselves sometimes. Even if that goes against tradition. Sometimes we got to do that. Page of Air. It's about being honest. Now, not everybody can take the truth, can handle the truth, but you can't knock the Page of Air. She does what, many can't do. And that's just put it out there. Keep it 100% real. So I greatly respect the Page of Air. Yes, I'm probably biased as a double air sign, but it is what it is. And here at the heart of your matter, starting out with all these options, maybe fantasizing, head in the clouds, not knowing what to do, maybe some cups of stuff, with which we don't want to take interest, or we shouldn't take interest, we don't need. Maybe that's some of the negative stuff that's surrounding us. But, look, we're triumphant over, even if there was peer pressure or, things coming our way, we're triumphant over that with the child. We can move beyond this, transcend beyond it, move past it. And if we got to take a break in order to do that, we got to take a step back and look around and reassess our situation and ourselves and stuff, then do that. We got the Hangman here to help us do that. And we got more. So there is something going on with a water sign person, very much so here too, though, because this is water. This is Cancer or water. This is Pisces or water. This is Pisces for me or water. But then for you, for the feminine, at the end of the day, all's well that ends well. It was already going well again. But it ends particularly well with the star and the happy times. If we make, if we keep our thoughts positive, basically, positive things are going to happen. We have this heavier major arcana energy to say that. And balance or temperance is a very healing energy, also very strong, very karmic. As they say, karmic as in of the universe, as in fated, as in destined, not in a negative sense. And, we'll get to where we need to be. With that, here's your advice. I like to put the cards back in order. And give a person what is truly their card. There's the masculines, 3 of fire. There's yours, Queen of Air. Abundance, things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. And for you, it might be connected to this Unity card, because this is about objective decision making. Again, maybe with whom and what and where we surround ourselves. Clearing away all that no longer serves you. So getting rid of it all. The people, the places, the things. In some cases, doesn't matter who the people are. And that can be why there's the reason for this 3 of Air too. Because of, again, from whom we need to separate ourselves. Maybe it's close friends. Maybe it's family. But, we're doing ourselves a disservice to continue the relationship. So they got to go too, at least for now. But seeing the humor in the situation too. This is what the Queen of Air is best at. She's independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Whoop. Okay, there's your cards for that. And from there, And I wanted to see of what you guys may need to let go. I'm beginning with surrender frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath. Center yourself. Here goes the balance again. And regroup so that you may approach the situation more calmly. And opening to surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from operating your heart. Interesting. And I came to this card before when I was shuffling, and I don't remember ever having seen it before. Like, that was my first time recognizing the card, or, you know, realizing that I had ever seen it. I'm like, oh, fear of intimacy. That's interesting. As I was shuffling for you, because I wasn't expectant of it. So it's interesting that it's come back. In any case, surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. So remember, I was saying here, we might have to let go of some traditions too, in order to let go of other stuff that can be coming in here. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Okay, you had the past life card too, and some sort of past life issue that from which you need to cut yourself away. So this could be coming through specifically for you. Once you do that, you're going to be able to own your own power and soar in your life. So it's funny that I was saying make me a bird before, because, you know, birds soar. Fear of intimacy and surrender to play. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. So that can help you to get your, you know, Queen of Fire back. Surrender, fear of intimacy. I'm going to cut. Surrender unhealthy relationships. Okay, so this is taking me back to this again. And where this pain may be coming in, could be connected to relationships. This card could be representing relationships, not necessarily between the two of you. In fact, I don't think between the two of you and all. And I haven't said that yet. I've been saying since I picked up the card, other people that are surrounding you is of whom you need to let yourself let go. So this card comes through from the surrender deck and basically says the same thing. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, okay? Queen of Air style. Including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded, not by people that hurt you, cause you pain, but by positive people, okay? This is lovely. The overall energy is surrender to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling. During both the hard and easy times, keep surrendering to more joy. That's awesome for you. Okay, masculine. I made a mess here too. Masculine needs to surrender stubbornness. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you to communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Maybe this is connected to your block in communication. You know, maybe it is the masculine who, of the two of you, who's not communicating as effectively as he could. And he can improve that by letting go of stubbornness. For you, surrender to the magic of who you are. Boom. We all have magic in us. Even in the mundane aspects of life, remember that you are a magical being with uniqueness and worth. Remember the money before? I said the value, the relationship, the value of the two of you. The money card that came up. Yeah, uniqueness and worth. And those come from just being you. From the Tony Carmine Ciliano Universal Love Oracle to the Masculine Healing Sounds. So just as he showed us by the card he picked for himself. And I said that card was about healing. You know, the universe agrees that that's on what he needs to be working right now, himself. For you, abundance. Stop thinking about lack. Abundance comes your way in, you know, financial, material, and love. Okay, you got to be open to it, though. You got to let go of this. Let go of the fear and like your connection to lack, your expectation of lack. From the creepy deck to the masculine, passion. So this is directing him similar to the other card about your overall energy, surrendering to joy. This is guiding him to, allow his passions to soar, to bring him joy. And for you, you got to let go of control and or of, you know, allowing people that attempt to control you, manipulators. You got to cut the strings to these people and these behaviors. And then all will be well in you guys' world. And I have to apologize. I got to be the page of air. At one point in the angel card spread, I may have broken my, in fact, I'm pretty sure I did a little bit, my concentration and my connection, because something was going on twice. I had 2 incidents with the camera. So I think everything turned out well still, but if there was, if that came out, you know, the fact that I shifted a little bit, I apologize. I'm going to be honest that occurred. And I hope that you enjoy your reading and find it helpful. Nonetheless, namaste, angel.